since my camera is dying after making the Casper story video, figured I'd make a video what the channel's about. Yes, there's a lot of drag racing videos and sled pulling videos on there, but those are old and ancient. But they're still fun to watch. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of videos about this guy, but, you know, what do you expect? He's my Go Fast toy. The workhorse is at home and the little daily driver's over there. But also, this channel is going to be full of educational tutorials and some do-it-yourself videos that'll be very helpful to the guy that's just getting started, or is you know, just getting started in the sport, or even the guys that don't even race trucks. For some things that truck owners should know that not a lot of people tell you about these trucks. It's, you know, some common knowledge, but for those of you that don't have the, you know, the common knowledge already, you know, we all started somewhere. We all started not knowing these vehicles, and, you know, especially when this vehicle was active, before I made it active again, it was doing things that we didn't think a truck could do. But we also learned a lot about these things for the stock vehicle market. So since I'm not running a shop full-time anymore, and it's much easier for me to do this as a hobby without worrying about a lot of things, having customers' vehicles in here, I have more time to my own stuff. I can spend more time doing less hands-on stuff, but I take a job on here and there. If I know I don't have a tutorial on it, I'll take a truck in and do a tutorial on it, and, you know, show you guys how to do certain things. You know, how to do, you know, for example, one of the videos is going to be how to do a water pump job on these things. Another one is how to change your turbocharger out in the future, depending on what charger, or at least getting the charger out, installing certain parts, you know, putting a lift pump in your truck, you know, the basic stuff. You know, the turbo is kind of a, you know, aftermarket type of deal. But, you know, lift pump, water pump, any maintenance that common truck owners should know how to do. And if some guy wants to start doing this on his own, you know, it's a good, you know, be a good source of information. The problem in the industry now today is people that are just getting into it. You know, I see on the social media sites that people are just getting into this, ask a question that may seem stupid to us, you know, the guys that know what we're doing now, and some people are far above answering those questions. They'll go, instead of that, they'll make a smart-ass comment or roast you on there and make you just feel like crap, and it really pisses me off seeing that kind of crap. That's one of the reasons why I got out of the business, but that's not the primary reason. One of the reasons is you can't go and help someone without seeing the smart-ass comments anymore. Forums like Duramax Diesels are dying out. They're still around, but, you know, not many people are posting stuff anymore. It's not as active as it used to be. You know, it's still there. It's not dead. It's not like Diesel Place that died out a long time ago. Duramax forum is kind of dead. It's full of stupid information and just nothing really useful. But, you know, the social media stuff really picked up and took off, and that's where it's at. You know, there's social media groups created for, you know, these trucks and other your specific vehicle, engines, you know, whatever. There's a group for that, and some of the stuff, yeah, some of the groups in there you should know what you're doing already, but come on, you're signing up for a basic group and you don't know, you just bought your truck, you want to ask some questions, and the problem is people on the internet post what's this guy told them or this guy, but they've never done it themselves. So the information that could be, you know, it's misinformation, it's misleading, very much so, and I deal with that a lot. So now that I'm not running a shop full time anymore, I don't have to worry about it. I feel that I can go set some of the myths straight and provide actual facts of, you know, mainly accommodating to the guys that just drive their trucks for, you know, towing. Not everyone races their trucks. That's not what these things were designed for. When General Motors designed the GMT 800 platform, which was the first one, with the LB7 in 2001, they wanted to compete in the market. All they had was the Detroits, and, you know, they were okay, but when the 7.3 hit the market, it got better and better. GM needed something a little different, and the 400 line was already ran its course since the 80s. So, I mean, that truck line was going to be out for a total of 20 years if it ran long enough. So GM needed to do something different. So this truck came about. Actually, this chassis came about because of the Duramax in reality. And they were going to put the Duramax in a 400 series truck, but that didn't happen because of structural reasons. So this platform came out. It changed a couple times, and from between 01 and 07, the platform changed a couple different times. Chevrolet had the most changes with the appearances and the front clip and the hood. GMC really didn't have any changes. In 03, they changed the front clip and the lights. That's about it. And then this, then on and so forth. But that's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to show you guys that you can easily do some of this stuff without having to get a smart-ass answer from anybody, because we all started somewhere. I definitely started somewhere. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I got into this. I didn't even expect to have this truck parked right here. I never expected to be going as fast as I am. I never expected Betty to do what she's doing now. That's not why I bought her. I bought her to tow. But, for those of you that don't know who Betty is, she's not here. She's Casper's tow rig. She's, my workhorse. 12-second daily driver, tow rig, whatever. It can do whatever I want it to do. It's sud pulled. It's done everything this truck has done and then some. Not as fast and not as much horsepower. But, the irony is I have 2 Duramaxes, but one of them is my all-time favorite. And you'll be surprised to hear my answer. Betty's my favorite. Now, yes, I love them both dearly, don't get me wrong. But here's my reasoning behind it. Yes, Casper is fast. Yes, he is the attention getter. Yes, that's what people are, that's what people go out to watch, is him when I go. People are more interested in him than Betty. I understand that, blah, blah, blah. But he gets a lot of attention, and Betty doesn't. There's a good reason for that. One, of how fast he is, and he needs more attention because, you have to prep him for races, make sure all your stuff's in order, and make sure all your tools and supplies, and you have extra parts for this thing. And, you need a full-on pit crew sometimes for this truck. Now, that's expected for a high-horsepower vehicle, but with Betty, my stock truck, I don't have to bat an eye. I can just hop in. I can just literally grab the keys, go hop in her, and, I leave her on a trickle charger because she doesn't get driven that often. Leave her on a trickle charger, unplug the charger, and start the truck and go drive it. I don't have to worry about anything with her. I can go hop in her. I can go home right now, go unplug her. I can go drive to Oregon if I had to without a problem. And I know she can do it. She's been as far as, in her current condition, her current configuration, she's been all the way up to Sacramento. She's been to Arizona, Sacramento, all over California, you name it, she's gone there. And yeah, she's got a built motor in it. She's going to get another one because I don't like the one that's in it. But yes, I did blow the stock engine up, not drag racing. If I didn't do what I did to blow it up, I would have kept going. But it's got a built motor, built trans, stock injectors, stock turbo, and it runs 12s. That's perfect for me, for a daily driver. And it still has all the luxury amenities. This thing doesn't have any luxuries. You're going to see in his video, or his story video, that's him, roll cage, racing seat, obviously no air conditioning, no radio, so you can't have tunage. That sucks. But the sound of this thing driving is good enough for me. But in the summertime, this thing sucks. It's just a rolling sauna, and in the winter, it's a rolling igloo. I mean, it's white, so yes. But that's what Betty's for. I can put him on a trailer, strap him down, and I can hook Betty up to it, and I can tow him wherever I want, tow anyone. I've towed a lot of trucks with her. I've towed, RVs with it. I've towed heavy equipment, and none of these trucks run DSP tuning, so they both got big tunes in them for what they are, and they'll do what I ask them to do. He's just more tentative. He just requires more maintenance and more prep. That's all. That, they're both I love them both, but out of the two, if I had to answer the question, which one of your trucks is your favorite, I pick Betty any day. One, she was my first truck to do anything with. She got me into drag racing, so I treat her as best as I could. She doesn't really require much. I just change consumables. I just did power steering lines. I do oil changes. I do fuel filter changes, trans filter services, and stuff like that. But other than that, she really doesn't require much. Yeah, she's going to get a built motor one more time. We all say that. But she's going to get another motor built a little differently. And that's it. She's going to get a liftgate on it because I'm selling my service truck that's totaled. But, and that fucker's annoying, but that's it. She's gonna, she's gonna still go do what she does with a liftgate on it, and it's gonna be the fastest liftgate around. But I don't have to worry about her. The point I'm trying to make is, you can make horsepower reliably, but you have to understand what I'm going to be explaining in future videos. There's a point where you reach a certain power level and your truck starts becoming less useful. You can still have 500 horsepower in your truck and still tow with it. You can tow. I towed almost 27,000 pounds with Betty before, with her tune, which is the one I drag race in, sled pull in, daily drive in, whatever. I haven't touched the tune in Betty in years. I never needed to. I just changed. I changed some check engine light parameters so the glow plug lights didn't come on, but they showed a code. But that's not changing the tune. The parameters have not been changed on the computer since I blew the trans up with that tune. I blew the engine up in that tune. I ran my fastest time with that tune. I've sled pulled in it once or twice, and I've dynoed it a few times. But other than that, she's turnkey. She's the definition of turnkey. And I don't have a DSP switch. I actually do, but I don't use it. I took the DSP tuning out. I never switched them. My DSP is my foot. If you can control your foot, you don't have to floor it everywhere you go. If you do, that's your own problem. But you don't have to floor these things everywhere you go. You just lightly press on the throttle and you can go. You can press more and you go a little more, but if you're towing, you don't need to floor it everywhere you go. And yeah, some people say that you shouldn't be towing with a high rate of timing and a high duration of fuel duration, but if you pedal yourself right, you'll never see it. And that's how a tune's supposed to be. The DSPs were invented to have multiple tunes on the fly. That's not a big deal, but that's mainly invented for people that can't, stop flooring it everywhere they go. I have fun with my trucks, but if it blows up, oh well, that's why I got another truck. And when I had the chance to pick him up, I hopped on it. And no, I'm not going to say what I paid for him because I get a broom shoved up my ass. Some will know that reference. But I got him because, one, he's already set up for high horsepower and he's got good parts in it, and he's got new motor and a new trans in it. The trans is outdated, but it functions pending updates. But, it runs 10s. It makes 800 horsepower according to its time and according to some couple dynos we went to with it a while ago. And it's what I want. I don't have to worry about caging because he's fully caged already. He's got stuff done to it. Again, this truck has proven itself. In the next video you're gonna see, those stickers mean that this truck has set land speed records. Holds a record at 175. It unofficially went 200. It officially went 197. With the parachutes pulled when the motor blew up. That's the only other time this thing blew up an engine was land speed, but we don't count that because that was kind of balls out pass. But you're going to see in the first video Casper's history. The second video that's on there is how the nitrous kit's going to work on this thing, so you can build your own. And the only really thing he has is 2 Leafs, Caltrax. These are his radials, which they're going to be replaced anyway, but they do the job for right now. And I have some street tires for them, but eventually I'm going to put stock wheels on it so we can redo this so it comes out the back with a muffler so it's quiet. But it's going to look like a regular truck. It's going to be a sleeper. That's what he was always. He wasn't a bling bling truck. Other than he's got a tramp stamp, but I'm going to keep it. That's history. I'm glad that organization's gone, but sadly we lost. I kind of figured it was going to happen. I haven't peeled this one off yet, but we lost NHRDA sadly. I have opinions about that, but that's later. So, getting off topic again and back on track. This channel is basically for the do-it-yourselfer, beginner, and some advanced stuff. But I hope that, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I hope as if you continue to watch and learn how I do things. I'm not saying my ways are right, but they've been proven. It's just a different way. Some things are easier, some things are harder, some things are more precise, some things are more detail oriented than other ways. You know, different methods of doing things, different ways of making power, different methods of reliability, different parts are used, stuff like that. All this is basically, now that this business has turned, the hobby has turned into a big professional pissing contest. You know, with people bragging their parts are better and whatever. That's advertising and marketing. But there's really no guys out there like me that, you know, I don't manufacture. Yeah, I sell parts for some, but you know, I'm an honest guy. I'll tell you, look, this is what'll work, this is what won't work. And obviously what I use on my trucks is what I like. You know, both these trucks have similar parts on them, minus the fact that there's a big honking turbo under the hood. You know, these trucks share most of the same parts. Most of the parts on this truck come from the dealership, believe it or not, because I can. That's kind of how I like them. I don't like too much aftermarket. The stock stuff works great for what I'm doing. Obviously, if you're going, you know, ridiculous faster than this, you know, 132 is the fastest this truck's ever gone. But, you know, if you're going to go faster, yeah, you got to do some things. You can put compounds on these, but I don't think this truck's going to see compounds for a while. I doubt it will. If I got the money, I'll get another truck and do something with. He'll just be a street toy. The next one will be totally gutted and, you know, whatever, a purpose built. This has been called the Swiss Army knife of Duramax trucks. Anything that, at least before I got it, anything this truck went in, it usually competed and placed very well. Not always first, but it placed very well wherever it went. And it still does that to this day, believe it or not. It's just I don't really post too much about it because I don't have the time. But now that things are starting to slow down, and my schedule is going to be changing. You know, I see that I have more free time to do this, and I talk to a lot of people, and I give them this. You know, I have to repeat myself quite often. So instead of doing that, you know, I just direct them to some of these, and hopefully more will follow. But you know, all I'm doing is just wanting to help everybody. I'm not trying to gain a following. I'm not trying to build a social status. That's another problem with the hobby. It's all about your social status on social media and who you're in bed with. That's not what this is about. It never has been. It's just all about what you can do, and a bunch of, you know, and I met a lot of friends at the drag strip, and I'm very thankful for it. And I made plenty of enemies too. But you know what? That's part of it. You know, and sometimes you regret it, sometimes you don't. But as someone who's been in it for not as long as most, you know, I learned a lot, and I know a lot of people that have helped me over the years, and I can't thank them enough. Their stickers aren't on here anymore, but they're being redone in magnetic form when I go to the drag strip, because I don't want them on when I drive this thing. So, you know, I just don't want to be a rolling billboard. This is good enough. But everyone that's helped me with both of my trucks over the years and helped me get where I'm at and taught me a lot, I'm very thankful for. Especially the guys over at Duramax Diesels. It's not a professional site. It's just a bunch of hobbyists that get together and share information. This is like a family, and you know, we treat each other as such. And when I say we treat each other as such, the good and the bad. But that's what families are. And we stick up for each other when it's necessary, and there's really not that big of a pissing contest over there too much anymore. It used to be bad back in the day, but it's died down a lot. It's not like Diesel Place used to be. It was horrible. You know, this site's more relaxed, and it's more of the professional hobbyist. I should say it's not a good term. It's more of the avid hobbyists, the guys that actually do a lot of the work themselves. You know, the guys that are more willing to help others, and basically guys like me, and guys that go on that want to do most of the stuff themselves. They have a vast knowledge of these trucks, and we just go out and share information. That's what Duramax Diesels was created for. There's a lot of info about this truck on there, believe it or not, and everyone else's. People post their builds up there. People ask opinions and stuff like that. It's a great place to go. But the social media part of it got involved. And now we just see pissing contests, and if people go ask, you know, a stupid question to us, it may not be stupid to them, the new truck owner, but it's, you know, a question that I would have asked buying a new truck, and you go out and get roasted. I mentioned it before, but it's like that's not right. That's totally wrong. That's totally turning people away from, getting the right help they need and making the wrong decision about their truck and having to spend more money to fix it because they couldn't get a straight answer out of somebody. I think that's bullshit. But that's kind of why I decided to start posting tutorials. But keep in mind, all my tutorials are technically somewhat opinionated. They're my methods of doing it. If you don't want to follow my methods, don't do it. And if you don't like it, keep your trap shut. This isn't a place to start a pissing contest. This is just a place to share information on video for guys that are just getting involved, getting started, or need some help, and for problems that most of the stuff I've had to deal with, and when I had the shop, a lot of people couldn't figure it out, and there's not a lot of good GM guys floating around anymore. They're all just parts installers. There are some guys left. I mean, there's a lot of, in retrospect to the population of the population of the sport, there's a handful of GM guys left that I know and respect and look up to as colleagues, in a sense. Even though we're all hobbyists, we work most of us work together. The guys that don't like each other obviously don't like each other, but that's what it is. And that's kind of what's turned this industry into a big pissing contest, and it's getting worse. But other than that, for the guys that just need a straight answer, come on over here. I don't care about my following. I just do this to help. Plus, it's fun doing this kind of stuff. It's fun showing people how to do this, to work on their own trucks and, set stuff up, and the theories behind certain things, technical information, the histories of how this works and stuff like that. There'll be a lot of videos like that up here. But again, this is just some of the stuff is going to, a lot of the tutorials that are the educational history of how this works, there's going to be a lot of information that's going to back it up, so you'll be able to see it. But some of this stuff is the way I do it. And if you don't like what you see, keep your mouth shut. This isn't social media, or what I like to say, this isn't Competition Diesel. That's the worst place to have a pissing contest, because that's all they do. So again, this isn't Comp D. So if you don't like what I have to say on here, or you don't like what I'm doing, keep your mouth shut. That's not what this is for. If you're interested in what's here and you do have questions, yes, you can always email me and I can try to answer when I have the time. I usually try to respond to emails at the end of the day when I come back from work, because I'm driving around in him all day. Yes, that's my license plate. But, I help when I can. I'm not now that I'm not doing this, I'm not running this shop full time anymore. This is literally my computer place, my technology business. I could have more time to help people that are in just for the hobby aspect. That's what I'm in it for. There's another video I'm going to have up. I'm going to make is getting into this business professionally, and the cautions, the things you need to be cautious about, and the warnings that I'm going to give you from someone that had a shop for 2 years full time. Now it's sort of part time, sort of not getting that way anymore. But I'm just going to share, opinions and information and some stuff. Get my opinions out there and hopefully help some people, because YouTube's helped a lot of people over the years, and I just want to contribute to it. That's nothing more than that. There's no ego contest over here. This is just an educational center for the guys that need help really bad, and they find these videos on YouTube, and it's what they want, and the information helps them. Fine by me. That's all I want. And plus, that gets more guys to go back into remember what the industry started out as the do-it-yourself sportsman type of hobby. Diesel trucks running fast popped out of nowhere about almost 20 years ago. Around 2001, we started seeing diesel pickup trucks, before the Duramax came out, running 12-second ETs, and they're weighing 7,000 plus pounds. That was unheard of. Now, apparently, it's crap if you run 12s, which I don't think it is. If you run 100 miles an hour or faster in the quarter mile, you got a fast truck. I don't care what anybody says. But back 20 years ago, almost now, because the LB7 is 18 years old now. As of late, technically, okay, let me rephrase that. As of late this year, it's going to be technically 17, 18 years old, depending on how you look at it. So that just shows you how time has flown with this stuff. So I hope this channel gives some information to help you guys with your trucks, and learn the basics and start learning the advanced. That's all that this is about. This isn't about anything more, anything less. I'm more than happy to help answer questions if necessary. I do a lot of one-on-one on the phone with guys to help them with stuff. There's gonna be a lot of EFI live videos coming up on how to do setting up your data logging equipment and what to look for, some resources you guys can have, because I think everyone should know how to use that equipment. If you're gonna be playing with your truck and you have the problem with EFI live tuners is they just sell you the tunes and they don't help you. Most cases. I'm not saying everybody does it, but most cases. And you're stuck. I get calls like that all the time. So I remote into people's computers and show them how to do it and show them how to get their trucks set up, and they can go out and data log and do stuff, and I can show them how to read the data log and show you what to look for, show you what your tuner is possibly looking for. I don't know all the tuners out there, but I know the big ones, that I know what they look for. I'm not gonna name any. One thing you're gonna learn on this channel is professional ethics. I will do my best, which is a 99% chance. I will not be throwing shops under the bus. I may hint that I have opinions about them, but that's as far as I go. There's no reason for anyone to start a pissing match over a stupid comment of one's opinion. You may like the shop you're doing business with that I don't like, but the problem is, or the thing is, not the problem, I may not like the shop you are doing business with, but if they take care of your truck and they treat you right and you're happy and you get the result out of your truck you want, that's the end goal here. But what I'm trying to get at too is I have different ways of doing it, and I just want to share my ways of doing it. You don't have to agree with them. I don't have to agree with how someone else sets their truck up, but it's just one more truck to add to the sport and one more truck to add to the competition. That's all it is. That's what the hobbyist sport's about. Going to the drag strip, going to the sled pulls, going to the dyno days, going to truck meets, having fun, hanging out with your buddies, and creating a new group of friends and potentially becoming a family. Because if you really think about it, I got involved in this with the local truck club out here, and yeah, there's a bunch of guys in this group that hate each other, and yeah, I'm part of I have some guys in the club I don't really like, but that doesn't mean anything. That's my personal problem, not a club problem. This name has been around since 2005, and the group of guys that I've met through this club, whether we talk anymore due to they're gone or whatever the case may be, the group of guys I first met in the truck club, yeah, there's a few guys that don't come around to the club anymore because of personal issues. But everyone I met through SoCal Diesel Trucks. That's just it. And yeah, the club has kind of ran its course, and there's a revival of it trying to happen. But if it happens, it happens. If not, the brotherhood of guys is still there. That's what my vision is, hopefully, to happen again. A group of guys just hang out and do things just to do them. Doesn't matter what your social status is. Doesn't matter how many followers you have. This social media crave took off way too quick, and it got way out of hand, in my opinion. The problem is if you're not a celebrity on social media, some of these places that actually are in business still, they treat celebrities different than the regular customer. You may see an Insta celebrity shout out a shop saying that these guys are awesome, whatever. One, they have no idea what they're talking about. They never have gone anywhere else. And number two, they won't treat you the same way. You won't get the royal treatment. You're just a customer number, and that's it. Yes, in the sense the company's large enough to where they have to tend to a lot of customers, but here's the other side. It's a double-edged sword. If they could stop and tend to one of their celebrity clients, but can't get back to you, I find that a little disappointing. I don't expect special treatment at any place I go, but I do get it. But especially when it comes to the drag strip, I don't ask for special treatment. I don't get it because I don't like it. My truck meets all the safety requirements for my class, and I want every time I go, my truck to be inspected for them, because that's what I put on. I go to a place that I do business with. Yeah, I spend a lot of money, but I don't like being treated special. If there's a guy in front of me that's new and needs some help, sales guy wants to talk to me first. Yes, I'm by an airport, by the way, so you'll hear planes often. But, you know, if a guy's in front of me or a guy's next to me that's new and needs some help, I can wait because, you know, or I know what I want. I go grab it myself in most places. But, you know, I don't like being treated special at certain times. You know, I get that from, you know, I was diagnosed with autism at age 4, and people felt it was treating me special because they were sorry for me. That's pity. I don't like that. It's just embarrassing. So I don't like being treated special at certain places. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself, but I don't expect special treatment. I just expect to be like, you know, everyone else. We're all here to have fun, and that's what I want to do. Provide information so you guys can have fun. Sorry this video went a little longer, but I hope that the message got across, and, you know, I'm just doing this to have fun. And if I make friends out of it, great. If not, oh well. If someone doesn't like what's on here, keep your trap shut. If you like what's on here, you know, share, you know, if you find this information useful, I want to hear, because, you know, if you have if you have a suggestion of what I need, if you want me to do a tutorial on something, you can email me too. I'll try to do one, or I can walk you through it by one-on-one, depending on what it is. But in the channel, in the description of this video, there's a website for a Blogspot website that I created for, you know, for the channel here, with all the write-ups that I have. I only have one done, but I'm doing more and more, and every write-up's gonna have a video with it. So you'll have video information, you'll have me talking about it, and you'll have it in writing. So, you know, it'll be a nice thing to have. You know, you've probably seen this truck more than I have in the past half hour. I didn't realize the video went that long, but I hope I got the message across. I'm going to put all my contact info in here that I can be reached at if needed. Just let me know if I can help any way possible. I'll do my best. You know, I do have a full-time job, so I don't get back to people until after like 5 or 6 normally. So, you know, I'll do the best I can to help. And we'll definitely, you know, I definitely want to help people out, get their trucks dialed in, and, you know, even mainly for the guys that just bought their truck and want to know about it. You know, there's gonna be a lot of videos coming up, so hope you guys subscribe and stay tuned. You know, I'm just doing this to have fun, nothing more than that. And yes, there'll be a lot of drag racing videos coming up soon. Check out the ones on the